Good morning, everyone. This is Yi with Casa Dreams. Today is Saturday, May 6th. If you look behind me is an Acura NSX. It's 2017. I did a thing this weekend. Had some buddies came into town from Minnesota, and I decided that I was going to rent this vehicle and go and drive with my friends in the Ozarks and the backcountry roads. As any of you, if you know me personally, I love cars. That's something that I love to do, and it was so fun hanging out with them this weekend. Now, if you stick around, you'll know why I decided to rent this car, and I'll also go into the details of how much it costs to rent this car and why I decided to do it. Before we get to the fun stuff, let's talk about something that I learned over the weekend, and that is decision making. Being able to act on your decision, not let it linger, not let it dwell on you, and make your life harder than it really is. And I'm guilty of that. I've done that multiple times, and it hasn't done me any good. On the decisions that I've acted on and been decisive on, it has helped me to be much happier, much more content. On those decisions that I let it dwell and linger for weeks or months on end, at the end of it all, when I look back, I wish I would have done it much sooner. A study done by Professor Stephen Levitt at the University of Chicago as an economist there, they studied 22,500 participants. They would flip coins. Heads would mean that a decision that they decided on, they will move forward with, and tails would mean that they don't move forward with that decision. Those that flipped heads, that moved forward with their decision, when they followed back up with them in 2 to 6 months, they were much happier, much more content with their life. And those that flipped tails and couldn't move forward or decided not to move forward because they flipped tail, the 2 to 6 month mark, they just weren't satisfied with their decision, and that impacted many different areas of their life. Based on studies and just based on my own experience in being more decisive, I've been able to be much more content, much more happy, and much more successful. Many of you are wondering, how is renting an NSX have anything to do with decision making and life-changing decisions? Had I decided not to go ahead and rent the NSX, I wouldn't have been a part of the shenanigans that happened over the weekend. And then that wouldn't have allowed me to really learn about decision making and the importance of that when you're at the cusp of making a decision or not making that decision. And so it definitely helps me to better understand, to utilize this on decision making going forward to better or enhance my life. During the rally, towards the end of the day, after I had already left the group to drive home, my friends and them texted in the group text that they got into an incident. A semi-truck ran one of the friends off to the side of the road, and one of his wheels bented and the tire popped. So they couldn't continue and move forward. Mind you, this is like 6 p.m. And they had asked if, since I was in town, I was closer to a bigger town because they're kind of out in the boonies, in the back of the Ozarks. Asked if I could find a replacement wheel for them. And I said, sure, no big deal. Let's just find it and I'll bring it out there without even them asking. They offered to meet me halfway, but I said, you know what, don't even worry about it. You guys just stay there because you're already in deeper trouble than I am. So called my brother. I remember he had a friend that has the same car. I'm sure he probably is not using his OEM wheels, and so had my brother go pick up the wheel. Fortunately, it was available, and called my wife, say, hey, or if you're home, if you're not, let's see if you can get home. We're gonna go pick up this wheel and go bring it to my friend who's been ran off the side of the road by a semi-truck and his tire popped. So we picked it up, drove it 2 hours there, dropped it off. They were able to get it on the car replaced, and they're able to move on to their trip. Now, I'm so grateful I was able to help them because that helped build our relationship to another level. Being able to drive 2 hours there, drop off the wheels for him, and then drive 2 hours back and help them in a pinch. I think if I hadn't made that decision to rent this NSX, go driving with them, hang out with them, build relationship with them, and bond with them, I don't think they would have called me to help them. And just being able to be there at the right place at the right time and being called upon for help, that really just solidifies my relationship with these friends even more. And that makes you feel good. It does lots of positive for you. It also adds some value in your life, especially in my life, because that's what I value is friendships. So being able to make that kind of decision and being able to just move forward with it and experiencing this, I think it's worth more than the $500 that I spent to rent this car. Because that's all that we have when we leave this world is experiences and friendships that we've built over the years. So it was totally worth it. So for many of you who are on the cusp of a decision, either if it's life-changing or just something very simple or a small decision, go for it. As long as it's something that doesn't kill you, it's not something that is dangerous, you're going to learn so much from it, and it's going to make you a much better person in terms of decision making. And you never know what you're going to experience. And I think that's the beauty of going into a decision and not dwelling on it and letting it eat you up. Well, have a good weekend. And I know I did. So we'll see you next week. Hopefully I'll have more tips for you. Please like and follow the channel.